This isn't a sanctioned cigarette, Mom. This is more of a public service announcement. I don't know who in their right godforsaken mind is shooting a firearm in my backyard. I was under the impression that you weren't allowed to fire weapons within city limits on somebody else's property. Maybe that's everywhere. All I do know is that someone has let off about 58 rounds so far, about 40 yards from my house, scared the shit out of my dogs, scared the shit out of my turkeys, scared the shit out of my chickens. And all it took was one big, I don't even have any shotgun shells. I just went out there with my big double barrel and went, shh. They've been real quiet ever since. Be ashamed to call the game warden, because you're not supposed to be shooting shit this time of year. I hope they can hear me. I hope you tell them. Because I assure you, my guns are bigger. Pisses me off. It's a Sunday. It's nap day. Why the hell are you shooting an automatic weapon less than 100 yards from my house? And more importantly, I'm up against a mountain and a creek. Why the hell are you in my backyard? Of course, if I had answers to all the questions, I would be able to tell you why there's only $2,500 going to the Putnam Council for Aging and over $10 million funneling through the mayor's office for no apparent reconsideration. Maybe you can take that $10 million and hire a game warden to come and patrol Hurricane Creek because they're firing off weapons in residential neighborhoods. If I hear that caliber of a gun in a residential neighborhood, I'm locked and loaded, because that means that shit's hitting the fan. And I assure you, it's going to sound like Fort Knox over here when probably you're out squirrel hunting with a bigger gun than you're supposed to have on somebody else's property. We're in trying times right now, folks. Not a good time to just start shooting willy-nilly in somebody else's backyard. That's how you end up an obituary in your local paper. That's how you end up a Dick Cheney cocktail party joke. Don't be shooting guns in my yard unless you want to be shot at in return. I know my chickens are noisy. They're animals. But nowhere are they near as noisy as... I don't care what kind of animal is across the creek. You don't need that kind of firepower. Especially 40 yards from a residential neighborhood and less than 100 yards from a school. It's all right. I already caught the game warden on you, and the police, and the state troopers. I know where you parked, and you're not on the land you're supposed to be on. Good luck with your ticket. And you're lucky that it's the Lord's Day. I don't feel like shooting anybody on the Lord's Day, because otherwise I would lock and load with the many rounds of ammo that I have to my own reserve, and I'd light up this backyard like the 4th of July. I'm all about people having their guns. I'm all about the Second Amendment. I'm all about the respect and the education of how to handle a gun. And shooting at a squirrel with a .357 is not really the appropriate way to hunt. On a Sunday afternoon, my husband's sick as a dog in the bed. Me feeding my animals and tending my garden and planting my hostas, and all of a sudden I hear firepower, like we're sitting on the Gaza Strip, and I'm like, and then they go, did you get that bear coon, son? I heard this. Better get out of my yard. Better get out of my yard. If you followed me for a while, you know this. About 3 years ago, I was standing in my kitchen in my nightgown making me a cup of coffee, and I saw a deer hunter walk right by my window and right out into the field, and I was like, this ain't your land. So I went outside with my big 12 gauge and went, shh. I said, what are you doing here? He said, your landlord said I could come back here and hunt. I said, the landlord ain't paying the rent. I am. Get off my land. Well, he told me, I don't care what the hell he told you. I'm paying for this land. You're not allowed to hunt on it. Now, unless you want to be a moving target and give me something fun to do before 7 a.m., I suggest you get back in your truck and head on down the hill. I'm all about providing for your family. I'm all about, using the meat that God's provided to you to satisfy that need. I'm not about you coming into somebody else's private property and shooting a firearm against their knowledge or permission. That's how you end up dead. I don't understand it. I deal with the dipshit that mows his grass at 6 o'clock in the morning, even though I've asked him to wait till 7. I deal with the neighbor's grandkids smoking pot and drinking beer and throwing them over in my backyard because they don't want to get caught. I deal with that. I deal with the neighbor's daughter-in-law parking in my parking space and making out with her ex-husband while her kids go to bed. It doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that when you have a firearm less than 100 yards from my house and just shooting it willy-nilly into a hillside when I have animals less than a half a click away. Nah. The ball bat is for you. That's to think you might have a fighting chance if you come up against me. But I got more guns than Carter's got pills, and I was trained by the best marksman I know. So, don't be shooting guns in my backyard. Because I can stand on top of the chicken coop and make an example of you from 150 yards away. Just don't be shooting shit in my backyard. This should be common knowledge. Hey, there's houses and kids here. Maybe we should shoot a bunch of guns in a residential neighborhood. No, nay, says I. There's plenty of Appalachia in this wonderful state that you can go and practice. There's firing ranges. There's huntsman's clubs. There's deer stands. There's mountaintops aplenty. No need to do it. Right here by my house. Oh, yeah, Popo's down there writing them a ticket on their truck. Don't shoot guns in my yard, because I will think that you're here to attack, and I will reciprocate. Now, so you get my turkeys all tore up, and I just got them settled down. I don't know, maybe I've just got to burn my paw today anyway. I did appreciate all of the social media posts about Smith Mountain Lake Songwriters Festival and Laura Cove and all that fun stuff. That was awesome. I wonder how many more hit songs I'm going to have to write to be invited to play these Songwriters Festivals. Wonder whose ass I'm going to have to kiss. I've been kicking ass way too long to start kissing it now. That's probably why I'm not on any of these fairs and festivals, because I don't play the game. And I know more people than you do, so you holding this exposure over my head, and we'll put you on at 10 o'clock in the morning. Fuck off. Have fun. Good morning, Leona Sue. Hello. Cynthia, your neighbor was sighting in a rifle and opening a day deer. I can understand where I live in Kentucky, where you've got about 10, 15 acres apiece and nobody's bothering anybody, and you can call the neighbors and be like, put your dogs up, I'm going to sight in my gun for a while. We literally have over 700 houses in a 2-mile radius right here. Did you think it was a good idea to check your guns out today? Probably not now, considering that the cops down there writing you a big old ticket. I hope it's a game warden. Because nothing is in season right now except you. Disrespect. Just disrespect. What if I just went to somebody's yard and started shooting groundhogs? Squirrels, raccoons, criminals, cartels. I don't understand that. They quit shooting now. Just took one call. They supposed to be shooting guns in a residential neighborhood? Where you at? Call the game warden, because they're shooting down in the woods. Which means they probably don't have a tag or a license because nothing's in season, which means they're probably going to come up this hill with a deer or a raccoon or a squirrel, which is against the law because you're poaching. You're also firing a firearm in a residential neighborhood. You're going to be dumb. You're going to have to be tough. It's just where I'm at today. Everybody's like, Sarah, are you going to get all dressed up today? No. Sunday, I'm working in the garden. Me and God had a long talk this morning. My husband's sick in the bed. I went and got him some popsicles and some Mucinex and some Sprite. And I'm going to let him sleep that off because I have a show in 5 days and I don't want to get sick. And washing all my Goodwill stuff, and I'm on round 2. I've thrown them into the washing machine and into the dryer, and then hanging them up in my big old closet that needs to be purged. Maybe we could do that this evening. Maybe I could just go through and be like, should I wear this? No, you should give it to me. Okay. I had that little willy-nilly thought last night in my head before I went to bed. I thought, what if I started a clothing store? I have so many clothes from sizes 12 to 24. Because it depends on who makes them and how they fit as to what I'll wear. It's like Dolly always said, I wear a size 6, but a 7 feels good to wear a size 8. Well, they're 10 and a half. Perfect. So, I'm thinking that would be really fun to be like, here's a bunch of stuff that I have worn in various videos and various performances, and I don't need them anymore, and I want them to be loved by somebody else. Against the law to shoot a gun within 1,000 feet of a residence. Thank you. They were well within 1,000 feet. I could hear them cough. And if that wasn't enough, every time that they shot off a round, my turkeys went ape shit nuts like, nom, nom, nom. They quit now. Wonder why. I don't have a lot of influence in this world, but the little bit of pull I do have, I like to use it for good. If I can put somebody with an artist, if I can put somebody with a songwriter, if I can recommend somebody for this performance, if I can recommend somebody for that stage, I try to use what little bit of oomph I have for the betterment of the community around me. That is not for the betterment of the community. Shooting a gun at 1 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon when I'm trying to take a nap and feed my chickens at the same time, it's not a good time to fire off a gun when I can hear it from in the house with the radio on. Not good. Not good at all. So, just putting a little PSA out there, don't be shooting guns in people's yards. Then the game warden won't come and write you a big ticket. I did get this Elton John shirt. I know. I love it. My mom's like, you should put it on eBay. I'm like, no, I should wear it because I love Elton John. And this is from his last tour. I know because it's dated on the back. So, I don't know. No, Art was not a BB gun. A BB gun does not make that sound. My guess is it was a 357. At least that's what my ear tells me. It was way too big of a caliber for the stuff that they were aiming at. I know that. And if you don't hunt with a 357. Never heard anybody come back from a deer hunt and be like, what'd you get him with? Bow, arrow, muzzleloader, 357 Magnum. No, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Don't be a dick. Yeah, I get that, Tracy. It's supposed to be like that down here, but we're in West Virginia, so Hatfields, McCoys, they don't really care about laws and where the money goes and kicking people out of their houses and taking all their coal and building it. They don't really care. They don't really care. They won't even fix the road. They just put a sign that says, rough road. Best of luck. It's like when you see something that says, not dishwasher safe, and you put it in the top rack and go, try your best. You'll be all right. I don't know. In the meantime, the tickets for the Sapphire, North Carolina show went on sale on Friday. And it's going to be a very limited seating and performance, very intimate. Very excited about it. We've got a show announcement coming Monday for Camden, Tennessee. So that's coming in August. Get real excited. And you hope the ones that involved aren't causing trouble or injured. They are causing trouble, and I hope they got their ass whooped. Don't be firing guns in somebody's backyard. And other news that you should already know. Farts don't got carpet. I'm down in the Taze Valley region, which is real far from you, Suzanne. But depending on when your reunion is, I may have a show nearby that you can come and watch. What size t-shirt do I like? 2X. I can wear an extra large, but my boobs are too big. And it just looks real tight. I'm a big old girl. I've tried everything. I've been this size since high school. Weight Watchers, Ozempic, Plexus. You remember Plexus? Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers again. What else? Nutrisystem. We already said that. Slim Fast. That bee pollen stuff that makes you shit your pants. Like, I've tried it all. I'm 5'8.5". I'm 225 pounds. I have 44 triple D boobs. It's been like this since I was 15 years old. I can try. Probably not going to look like you want me to. I look like I want me to. I'm a closed fit. Nobody seems to bitch at me. And my husband still wants to make out with me. So everything's okay. But people just get up in my shit and they're like, you should try to lose weight. I don't want to. I like to eat. I'm a 4-star chef. Why the hell would I stop eating what I cook? I got all them culinary schools so I couldn't try my own praline bread pudding. Hello. Let me tell you a secret, folks. It don't matter how many laps you run. Don't matter how many marathons you run. Don't matter how big of a vegetarian you are. Doesn't matter how many supplements you take. You're still going to die. You might prolong it. You might hold it off. You might trick it a little bit. You're still going to die. So I think that my time would be better spent spreading love, spreading the gospel, spreading music and jokes and fun things that I have learned, gardening tips, chicken tips. I think that would be more useful for the time that I have been allotted rather than walk for 6 hours and not get nowhere on a treadmill. I'm sorry. I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. You really think that I'm overly concerned with my A1C is fine, my blood pressure's fine, my cholesterol's fine. The rest of it's between me and God. Don't worry about it. You would look so much better if you lost about 20 pounds. Yeah, well, you would sound better if you shut your mouth. See how rude that is? You couldn't listen until you started detoxing. There's nothing for me to detox from. I don't drink. I don't do anything else besides smoke marijuana. That doesn't... because I smoke marijuana, I don't have to be on blood pressure pills. I don't have to be on metformin. I don't have to be on a mood elevator. I don't have to be on an antipsychotic. I don't have to be on anti-anxiety. I don't have to be on... weed. That's it. That's it. Check my system. Marijuana. That's it. You won't find opioids. You won't find crack cocaine. You won't find heroin. You won't find alcohol. You'll find marijuana. Just keeps you from having to take everything else and spend a fortune at Walgreens. Because I just went and bought my husband some Mucinex and some heartburn medicine, and it cost me $45 at the Dollar General. You want to know why I smoke weed? Because I don't like paying for all that shit. Hello. I think that if you're comfortable with your body and that you dress for your body type and that you dress for your dopamine levels, it shouldn't matter. Confidence is the best thing that you can put on. I could see a woman in $1 million dress with $15 million worth of jewelry on, and if she's standing like this by the punch bowl, I'm going to be like, she looks bad. I could be wearing an Elton John shirt, these shorts that I also saw a man wear. They're girl shorts. At the Dollar General a while ago, I was like, we are twinning, and he's like, oh, I was like, those are girl shorts. And my Crocs, but I will walk in acting like I own a damn place. It's all about confidence. Environment detoxing. See, Dane, I feel that. You talking about doing like the ivermectin and turning off your phone for a week? Thank you, Dane. I didn't say a damn thing about being ugly. I just said I was fat. I don't know. I just put a burr in my bonnet this morning. I was like, don't be shooting guns in my backyard. Duh. But you'll get tar from the grass and cigarette. Who gives a shit? The reason I survived COVID and they took my blood for 4 solid years is because I am a pothead. And if you ever tried to wash a pipe with water, you know why COVID didn't stick to our lungs. Can't. Can't. Just resin in there. And that's fine. Everybody's going to have their own cross to bear. I choose to hack and cough a little bit and feel better about myself and the world around me. think what I need to detox from is all the dumbassery that keeps finding its way on my porch. I got so tickled the other day, somebody's like, I don't like any of your posts at all. And I'm like, you've commented 9 times. I'm going to show up on your feed. You've commented 9 times. You should read your Bible more. I said, you should get the hell off my porch. Not drop. If I was interested in your opinion, it would be called the Sarah Beth Terry and whatever the fuck your name is show. But it's not. It's called the Sarah Beth Terry show. You want your own opinion? Get your own show. It's not actually the nicotine that's bad for you. It's all the other shit they add into these cigarettes that's bad for you. Little word to the wise, the nicotine's actually good for you. Otherwise, the Indians wouldn't have planted so much of it, and Sir Walter Raleigh wouldn't have taken it back to England and made a fortune. There's a reason there's a peace pipe and not a war pipe. Can we talk about family gatherings at the old arbors? Oh my God. Thank you. You get it. You get it. You understand. I love it. Keep that algorithm coming. My daddy always told me, you either have to walk into a room like you don't give a shit who owns it or like you own it. I'm so lazy. If I show up, you're lucky. Put it in the paper. Put it in the family Bible. Tell somebody. I wasn't being mean to you, Laura. Chill. If I see a comment, I'm usually not directing it to the person that's saying it. I just usually see the comment and I'll just put it into the conversation. Calm down. If you're on the phone with your mother, you'd be like, wait a minute. Think we got misconstrued. It's okay. It's like when I called my friend Erica this morning, so I'm not going to say this on Facebook, so I'm just going to bitch to you. She said, what did I do? I said, it's not you. I'm not going to bitch on Facebook. I'm just going to bitch to you. She's like, now I understand. I was like, okay. Because if I call these people the names I want to call them, I probably won't get invited back to anything else. Why is it okay for them to say a bunch of shit about me, but the moment that I retaliate, they're like, Sarah Beth. Can't believe she said that. Did you see what they wrote about me? Did you see what they said about me? Did you see what they cornered my mother at the burger barn and told her the other night and brought her home in tears? Because you weren't worried about my opinion then. I like how you'll say it to everybody else, but you won't call. You got my number. It's on my cell phone. It's on my website. Like, you can call my cell phone and be like, Sarah Beth, I got a problem with this. But instead, you want to tell everybody that you think that I know, that I might have been related to, that I might have been friends with in high school, that I might have known 25 years ago, and you want to start a hate campaign. It's not going to end well for you. 1, because I don't give a shit. Number 2, because when I call you out, I don't have the 19 people at the Burger Barn parking lot to listen to me. I have 335,000 people just on one platform that would be glad to be like, who's this girl? Where's she from? What was she saying? Why is she saying this? Why do I care, Rusty? Because I've been trying for 40 years for my hometown to give a frig about anything that I'm doing. They're all about the shit that I do wrong, and they love to corner my mother and my father and my grandmother and my cousins and my aunt and uncle and anybody else who still lives there and tell them what they think about me. But then when I address them, they get real quiet. They clam up. Well, I never said that. Well, no, you did. I just want to know why you said it. I didn't say that. No, but you did. Why didn't you say it to me? Why? Sarah, I've never... Shut your mouth. You look like a codfish. You're going to be the villain in somebody's story. I don't care. I don't care. First one to the microphone tells the story anyway. And I've got a microphone. So, keep spreading what you want. I don't care. Saw this woman on TikTok today that said, I'm having the most peaceful crash out in the world. Like, I don't give a damn, but I kind of care. But I don't give a damn. She said, normally I would be throwing every dish in my house, but I just feel like this is a peaceful crash out. I was like, I feel that. That's perimenopause. I just don't care. I understand what other people think about me is really none of my business. When you're in the entertainment business, what other people think about you kind of is your concern because they're the ones that's buying the songs, coming to the show, seeing what they're doing, joining up. It is a public business. However, opinions are like assholes and everybody's got one. I don't like what you did with this song. Write another one. I don't like your hair. Cool, you come do it. I don't like your porch. Get your own. I mean, there's answers for all of these questions, but It goes back to that thing about, are you speaking life or are you speaking bullshit? Rest Jim right there with you. I don't care. Yeah, they always come to my mother and they'll be like, well, I saw that Sarah Beth on TV the other day. I saw that Sarah Beth on Facebook. And mom's like, I'm sorry. I stopped raising her 27 years ago. At this point, she's her own person. Call her. I don't care. And then I'll run into him and like the save lot. And I'm like, hey, I heard you was talking shit to my mother at the Burger Barn. What's that about? Oh, well, no, I wouldn't. No, I love Miss Tammy. Well, she's not a liar, and she told me what you said, and now I'm asking you about it. But if you've got the amnesia, the selective amnesia, that's fine. Can we do something about these bangs? What in the Ashley McBride is happening here? What is that? Oh, God, just put them bangs back down. Just put them back down. So. Now they're chopping down trees across the creek. Didn't need a gun for that, did you there, bud? I hope that was one of them fat mother sons of guns climbing up in a tree stand and he was so fat that it just fell the tree. Wouldn't that be funny? I'm going to get a deer. Woo! I just saw a tree go down. Literally could have hit it with a BB gun. That's how close it is to my backyard. Shouldn't you have alerted the neighbors before you started doing a bunch of demolition right here in your backyard? Shooting guns, tearing shit down? Shouldn't you just tell somebody? Like a little knock on the door and be like, we're going to make some noise today. Sorry about it. No, we'll just let them find out. Becca, the one problem I saw immediately with that comment is that you got told. You got told. I understand that lifting each other up and taking 7 blocks out of people's way and trying to correct them so they don't fall down a rabbit hole. But a lot of people like to get up on their soapbox and tell people what they need to do to get to heaven. You been? You been? Have you read the qualifications? Do you know the secret password? Do you have the hand stamp? Do you have your Costco card? No one's been and reported back yet except for Jesus. And he's like, in my Father's house there are many mansions. If it weren't true, I would have told you. But everybody else is like, you're not going to get to heaven that way. How do you know? I was told to believe in God and follow him and do what he says. And try to get along with everybody else that don't know him. The rules that you're enforcing are from some doctrine that your preacher dreamed up in the 40s to keep women in their place and keep money in the offering plate. That's why I'm a feral Christian. I'm not rebelling against God. I'm rebelling against the man-made doctrine that has turned Jesus into a prophet. Profit. Drove through town today to get a pack of cigarettes about 11:35, and I noticed all the Lexuses and Lincolns and brand new sports cars in the driveway of the churches, and I was like, all right. I don't see one beater. Not one. I didn't see one pickup truck that looked like it came from a coal field. I didn't see one vehicle that looked like it might have had goldfish crackers stuck in the mat. I saw what looked like a car lot. Lot to be noticed by church forever. Walk in the door. I saw that the Southern Baptist has now taken a unanimous vote that women aren't allowed to preach. We can serve all the food. We can clean the church. We can prepare the communion. We can get the services ready. We can pick out the hymnals. We can play the piano. We can sing the special. We can lead the songs. We can teach the Sunday school. We're just not allowed to preach. We're allowed to organize the Easter egg hunt and the angel tree and the Thanksgiving dinner and the preachers' families get together and the reunions and the homecomings and the Singspiration. We're not allowed to preach. We're allowed to vacuum the church. We're allowed to wash the windows. We're allowed to pick out the drapes. We're allowed to pick out the wreaths. We're allowed to pick out the flower arrangements. We're allowed to light the candles. We're allowed to put boxes of Kleenexes in the pews. We're not allowed to preach. Okay. I was excommunicated from the Southern Baptist a long time ago because they said I was a spiritual liability, which I think means that I'm going to hell, and so does everybody that knows me. But the reason I got in trouble and kicked out of Castor Baptist Church in Leesville, Louisiana, after the son had committed, or the preacher's son had committed suicide in the choir loft, and everybody just acted like it didn't happen. He's in heaven. No, he's not. So that's the first thing that got me really stirring. I'm like, we've been preaching against suicide and trying to help the soldiers at Fort Polk for like the past 3 years, and now your son has started a shotgun in the choir loft, and now he's in heaven. I love how we adapt the scripture to fit our own personal needs. So anyway, I worked at the American Legion on Saturday nights, and I played piano at church on Sunday mornings, and there was a gentleman in there that was a Hell's Angel, and he had just recently moved to Louisiana, and he said, I'm not part of that life anymore. I've moved back east to be with my grandkids, but I look like this. I can't go to church. I was like, yeah, you can. Nobody cares. So he showed up wearing his best biker boots and his nicest, cleanest pair of jeans and a T-shirt that said, my lifeguard walks on water, which I thought was precious. And he's just kind of sat there with this mega church songs in the background, just like, I don't know any of these songs. So during offertory, I played Jesus Is Just All Right by the Doobie Brothers, thinking he might recognize something and be like, oh, okay, there's not this. Okay. So he was just in it. I think he even put a $50 bill on the offering plate. He's like, I know this song. Finally, something I recognize. After the service, the preacher pulled me aside and said, that was beautiful. Was that the Gaithers? I said, no, that was the Doobies. He went, what? You can't play that here? Well, I don't know why. We just redid a Toto version for Easter. All I want to do when I wake up in the morning is praise the Lord. Hosanna, Hosanna. That was a secular song, and y'all changed the words. This one already says Jesus in it. We can't have that. You can't come back. Have fun. I've been baptized 6 times because of this church. I thought there was one faith, one God, one baptism, but apparently in the Southern Baptist, you had to be baptized into the congregation. And then you had to be baptized into the church. Then you had to be baptized into the membership. Then you had to be baptized into your calling. I didn't take that many baths on my wedding day. But that's all right. They've now told us that women can't preach. You just cut off half of your prophets. You just cut off half of your preachers. You just cut off half of the generation that can spread the word of God to somebody else because you don't like that women want to get behind the pulpit. What say ye of Mary? What say ye of Esther? What say ye of Ruth? What say ye of Mary Magdalene? What say you of Sarah? All right. You're right. We just needed men. I hope their membership falls through the floorboards and that they have to stand out here with a red bucket on Sunday afternoons just like the Little League team and ask for money to keep the doors open. You're driving people away from church because you're keeping God on a shelf. This is not some elitist country club. This is God. And God goes wherever He's invited. Whether it be to your multi-million-dollar mega church where you're pulling in $50,000 a week in the offering plate, or it be 2 people gathered on the porch around the Bible and trying to figure out what it says in Exodus. God's there. God's there. Just because it doesn't stand on your ceremony and it doesn't stand on your expectation of it, doesn't stand on your self-righteous, we have to do 3 hymns and then we do the opening prayer. It doesn't say that in the Bible. There's no order of events. And then, this is when we talk about the missionaries over across the sea. Okay, that's fine. Send as many people as you want to South Africa. There's still people homeless in your own town. All that is a vacation on Jesus' dime. You want to really do good work? Go out here to Huntington on a Sunday afternoon and pass out food to these homeless veterans. You really want to do some good work? Go out here and make lunches for these kids that are out of school that won't have a bite to eat till they get back to school because they're on the free lunch program. You want to do good in your neighborhood? Show up at an elderly person's house and say, what do you need help with today? How can I help you? I see somebody out working in their yard, I'll pull over the car and be like, what can I do? I need some help with this mulch. I'm on it. Charity starts at home. Otherwise, you're just taking a paid vacation on Jesus' dime. That's what I want to know, Brandy. No, I'm studying it. I can't figure out. In the Old Testament, it said that women should be kind of seen and not heard. Old Testament Testament. And the New Testament even says even your daughters will prophesy. Men and women. God loves the broken. He's like, I can fix that. I can use that. He's like me when I go to a junk pile. I'm like, I could use that. I can make something out of that. There's a reason why I feel very, very, very close to God when I go junk. Because I see the potential. I see what it needs to be. I see what it used to be. I see that a coat of paint or wipe down with a rag might make that shiny and sparkly and do what I need it to do. But somebody forgot it. Somebody kicked it under the bed. Somebody threw it in a box. Somebody gave it away. I like to think God's a junker. Turbo alert! He's like, I'll take this, and I'll take this, and I'm going to make something amazing. The original Jimmy Rigger, that'd be the Lord. He's like, I bet I can fix this. Give me a second. Brandy, absolutely. We're going to talk about women of the Bible on Thursday night, so make sure you tune in for the Feral Christian podcast. We're going to talk about bad girls of the Bible. That time for that sermon. I've been waiting for it. So, anyway, the people that abide word for word by the Old Testament, I'm like, I hope you're not eating bacon or shrimp, or bacon-wrapped shrimp. That's in there too. Hope you're not wearing jewelry. Hope you're not wearing clothes with mixed fabrics. Also in there too. And then here comes Jesus, and he's like, none of that matters at all anymore. Eat what you want. I don't care. There are no more dietary restrictions. We must help each other when we can, but you cannot save somebody that don't know they're drowning. Even the Lord said if they won't accept your message, then kick the dust of your feet off of that place and go. Don't beg them to respect you. Don't beg them to accept the word. Don't beg them to accept you. Go to where you're needed. Go to where you're appreciated. A bottle of water is 50 cents at the Dollar Tree. It's $8 on an airplane. Go to where you're appreciated. And discernment is a big thing here. And I think that's what stuff everybody's like, how can you speak joy and then have an attitude like that? Because I'm pissed. I'm pissed. The discernment is running rapid. And I've been called a lot of things in the past 6 months because I do a Bible study and I also smoke cigarettes. That's fine. I know where I stand with God and He knows me too. He's a little concerned about all these zealots and false prophets that are popping up. There's not a 1-800 number across the bottom of my thing that's like, if you would just donate $25,000 today, we could take care of a kid in your neighborhood. Pay for the person behind you in line. Open the door for somebody. It starts with you. You can't move a mountain all at once. One rock at a time. See, Tammy, I'm the opposite. I'm a Kentucky girl trying to live in West Virginia. There's differences. And I'll address this too. Somebody said, well, you talk profane. To who? Something I've learned with a liberal arts education and 43 years of standing on this earth is that the line between profane and holy is razor thin. What might be offensive to you might be holy to somebody else. It's subjective. All about intention. All about moderation. Even in Ecclesiastes it says there's a time and place for everything. Every season under heaven. So if you don't like the way that I'm talking, might be something in your own soul that's stirring up. Because I don't think it's me that's the problem. I'm just a country music singer and comedian who sits on my porch and smokes cigarettes and tries to tell you fun things of the day. No one's holding you here against your will. But I do appreciate your unique perspective, and we will take it into consideration. Trash day's Monday, though, so. Anyway. Well, it is now coming upon the 2 o'clock hour. It's about time for my Sunday afternoon nap. Go in there and flip a load of laundry, sweep off the porch a little bit, check on the hubs, and I might read another book, because I finished this one today. Fanny Flagg, Can't Wait to Get to Heaven. Such a good book. If you haven't got it, go get it. You have a library in your town. This one was written in 2006, so it's 20 years old. But this is the same woman who wrote Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe and Daisy May and the Miracle Man. So she's also got Welcome to the World, Baby Girl, and Standing in the Rainbow, and A Redbird Christmas. I've read all of them. I hadn't read this one. So I recommend it. Fanny Flagg, Can't Wait to Get to Heaven. It is fantastic. It took me about 2 days. It was great. I enjoyed it. Thursday, the live Bible study starts at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, and we're right here on the porch. So if you follow my page and you follow and like and, I don't know, favorite or whatever it is, you can tell I'm inept at technology. But you will join us right here on the porch on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We'd love to have you. I don't think I was called to preach. I think I was called to talk. Kind of like the hype man, you know? Like, I feel like I was commissioned to be like, all right, I've given you all these songs, and I've given you all these jokes, and I've given you the life that you wanted. You've got chickens, and you've got flowers, and you've got a husband that adores you, and you know, like, now give back. And I'm like, okay. And it may be something as simple as me sitting on the porch praying with you. Or it might be something as simple as us getting here and talking on the internet once a day. Maybe it makes you feel less alone in the world, that you're not all by yourself walking up this hill. You're never alone. The devil wants you to feel like you're alone, but you're not. Which translation will I be using? I like the contemporary English version, but I always keep on hand a parallel Bible, a New Living Translation, American Standard, and King James, because some people like to hear it different ways. As a songwriter, I appreciate different versions of the same song. As long as you understand the message, that's kind of how my thing is about songs. I don't care if you know it word for word. If you can sing along on the choruses and it touched you deep inside and you're like, I like that song. I did my job. You come back to me and go, no, that song, Estill County Rain, when it says the air is thin and the storm's coming, I'm not going to throw a duck fit and be like, those aren't the words. It spoke to you. You remembered it enough to talk to me about it. You got the message of the song. Something's chirping and it's not one of my babies. It's probably that bird who lost his tree a while ago. Variety is the spice of life. I don't know all the answers, but I have probably 40 different kinds of Bibles on this porch and 3 different concordances and 20 different reference books and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different devotionals. Between that, I think I get a pretty good concept of what's going on. It's kind of like how I approach college. If I'm going to do this with music, I need to buy all the music books, I need to take all the music classes, I need to do the music stuff. Not everybody has all the answers. Amber, you're not alone. Welcome to the porch. Glad to have you. And there's a bunch of us on here. Believe it or not, you could be like, I am in Oklahoma. And somebody else be like, I'm also in Oklahoma. Where do you want to go for lunch? I'm in North Carolina. I'm also in North Carolina. Let us go have coffee. That's what this is about. It's not about me. No. Not at all. It's about forming community and forming a fellowship of people who want to see the world do better with a little bit of grit and a little bit of grace and a little bit of humor. If that's something that you can jam with, welcome to the porch. If it's something that's going to put a burr in your saddle and you're just going to be a sore thumb all day and bitch, go get on someone else's porch. I don't tell you. I'm just one person, but I'm doing the best I can. So, with that being said, that means I need to get out here and put these flowers in the dirt before it gets too much hotter and it rains this afternoon, because I think we're supposed to have a little cloud break and squirt. But other than that, If you haven't got your tickets or you haven't RSVP'd for the E3 show in Billington, West Virginia this weekend, that is Saturday night, right outside of Elkins for West Virginia Day. Get really excited about it. I'm super excited about playing West Virginia songs. And we still have a 4th of July open. Actually, those few dates that I have, I think we've got are those the only dates we have left? So get on there. If you want a private party, a house concert, somewhere near you that would like for me to come, just be like, I claim this date. And we'll work out a budget, and we'll work out a concert, and we'll figure out what's going on. I want to come visit with you. So you have to holler at me for me to do that. Hi, Mittens. That's my kitty cat meowing at me. I already fed you. Why are you meowing at me? Just meowing. Yeah. Yay, Cynthia. So excited. It's going to be a fun show. Now that I know the lay of the land. Stephanie, where in Pennsylvania you at? Find me a place to play. And a Goodwill that we can shop at, and I'll be on the way. Southern Illinois. Hello, Liana Sue. Are you near Nashville, Illinois? Because my friend Gretchen's going to be there doing the fair here in the next couple weeks. So maybe go see her. If you'd like to keep up with all things SBT, as always, get on SarahBethTerry.com. Sarah's with an H, just like the Bible intended. There's a contact form on there. You can check out my tour schedule. There's new merchandise. There's music. There's pictures. There's probably a recipe for a cheese ball, knowing Sean. Portsmouth. I left Portsmouth. Haven't been up there in a while. Need to go. So find me a place to play. Reporting where you're watching from, and I will look for venues around where you are. And if you want to have me for a private show or concert, then get on my page, because those 4 or 5 maybe dates that I have, that's all I have left. So if you want to book one of them, now would be the time to do it. Just saying. So, thank you, Caroline. My husband got me that. That's my engagement ring. And then that little tiny diamond band was the one we got married with. And then the big diamond band was my anniversary ring. So. I think it's 6 carats total. Not that it matters, but text the White House and request. Why not? I kept 4th of July open, thinking that they might holler at me for the 250. I know that that's wild hair at my rear end, but I thought if you manifest it, I want to play the 250 celebration. I want to wear my big red, white, and blue outfit. So, yay! Well, when you go, if you go see Gretchen, just if you get to go to the meet and greet, be like, I follow Sarah Beth on Facebook, and I'm on the porch, and she'll be like, oh my God. Gretchen's also a porch sitter with us. She don't get to comment, but I know she gets to watch us every now and again. It's surprising to me the people that watch my stuff and don't say anything, or they'll text me and be like, I liked your cigarette, Mom. I'm like, why were you watching it? When Tina calls Gretchen and Gretchen calls me and goes, did this happen? Yeah, it did. Call me. See? I love it. Everybody takes the White House and be like, we want Sarah Beth Terry. And they'll be like, who's that? Be like, SarahBethTerry.com. Cigarette Mom. So anyway. That's all I know. In the meantime, friends, keep your Bible open and your powder dry on your head on a swivel, because people be shooting guns in your backyard and you're going to have to get sideways with them with the game warden. Be nice to other people, animals, and children. Try to love your neighbor. Do something for them. Do something for them and don't even tell them. Roll in the trash cans. I don't know. Be nice. Practice kindfulness. But in the meantime, friends, remember that God loves you and I do too, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And until we meet again, remember, perhaps the most important of all, I'm Sarah Beth Terry. You're not. Bye.